What is up? Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's staying healthy. I had an idea. Been stuck in lockdown for a little bit. Still been working on my stand-up set, just looking in a mirror, or maybe not looking in a mirror sometimes, trying to envision a crowd out there. But started thinking about the Austin comedy scene and how much I miss it. So I kind of wanted to do a podcast where I literally just go over comedians in Austin that I've seen live that I really liked and talk about, what I liked about them, what I remembered about them, and kind of my first impression of them. The goal of this podcast is not to shit on people. I want to bring up people that I like and talk about why I like them. There's always, regardless if it's comedy or whatever aspect of life, there's always going to be things to like about people. So that's what I'm trying to gear my brain toward. But that's it. I'm off my soapbox now. So, in no particular order, I'm just going to start rattling off comedians' names. Maybe I'll go by one of the last shows I saw. So one of the last shows I saw was actually a great show. There's a couple comedians on there. There's Danny Goodwin, Andre Ricks, Ashley Sharma. Who were the other people on there? I know Amber Bixby, I think, was headlining that show. And I want to say there was somebody else who was hosting. I can't remember his name. He's one of those names you always hear in Austin. And it was the first time I had ever seen him. And he was so fucking funny. But I just, am blanking on his name right now. But whoever it was, the guy who hosted was really funny. He did, a slideshow presentation while he was doing comedy. It was great. But he was the host, so it wasn't, gimmicky or anything like that. But yeah, so Danny Goodwin. Let me talk about him for a little bit, Super fucking funny. Also kind of looks like Marv from Home Alone, which, phenomenal. I remember the first joke I heard from him that I was like, man, that's a really good fucking joke, was the joke he talked about his dad lending him pajamas. It was so funny. And then I talked to him a little bit. I met him at Cap City before watching Vanessa Gonzales. And she's, I don't even have to tell you how good she is. She's incredible. I went to a show at the Buzzmill and she was headlining, but I was there to see somebody else. I think her name's Maggie. She's from Louisiana. I don't think she's going to listen to this, but still. But yeah, Vanessa's so fucking funny. Oh my gosh. She had a joke about getting turned on when she gets scared. It was so fucking funny. Just the way she acts it out. And then I saw her at Cap City, and I showed up to the show really early. And I thought the show, I didn't realize there was two shows. So I showed up in the middle of one of the shows. I'm an idiot. But Danny was at the bar, and I went to go talk to him, and we just kind of started talking about comedy. And ever since then, I've seen him randomly different shows, but yeah, he's just really funny. All right, I had to edit that last part out because had I not, I may have been put on a list. But yeah, what I wanted to say was when he did the set at Cap City, one of the jokes that did really well for him was the JFK joke. And if you've seen it before, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's the way he localizes it, kind of puts his spin on not a modern spin, but just a spin on the joke. I don't know. It's just a really good joke. So if you get a chance to see him, that's a joke to look out for. But yeah, I've seen him a handful of times. He's one of the most consistent people I've ever seen that always makes me laugh. Even if I hear the same jokes from him, they still make me laugh. So shout out to Danny on that one. Yeah, Andre was there too. I've talked with Andre a couple times. He's a cool dude. He's a really cool dude. I think the first time I saw Andre was at what's that coffee shop? The one Leon Liu hosts. What can I think of it? Halcyon. I saw him at Halcyon. So I haven't been doing, I don't know, I should probably introduce myself to y'all that don't know me. I haven't been doing comedy that long. I've probably been doing it like 9 or 10 months. So a lot of these people that I'm going to be like, it's the first time I've seen him. It's because I just hadn't been in the scene that long. But I remember seeing him at Halcyon, and he had a joke about having bugs in his car and buying bug spray that was really fucking funny. And just his delivery is funny. Like, I've been working on an Andre Ricks impression for a long time. I'll drop it. I'll drop it on y'all. Hopefully this isn't too offensive, but here we go. Yeah, man. Hey, I was driving a city bus the other day. Yeah. Just picking people up, dropping them off. That's the best I could do. I don't know. But anyhow, yeah, Andre's really fucking funny. I've seen him. I feel like I kind of seen him and Danny on a couple shows together, randomly. But his delivery is just so chill, and he waits. He kind of has like a Greer Barnes quality to him, where if you didn't get the joke, he'll wait for you. And then you start laughing, and then you're laughing at the fact that you're laughing, and he knows why you're laughing. I don't know, it's a very heady thing. Maybe it's all in my head. It's not anybody else's head, but yeah, so he's really funny. He hosts the Buzzmill open mic, which I've done once. I did that once. It was so cold outside, and it just rained, so everything was wet. So everybody who was sitting down was wet. There's probably like 10 or 15 comics, and there was 3 or 4 people in the crowd. And I remember when I went up on stage, I had like gloves on. It was so cold. And there was one guy in front of me, and I was like, there's no way that you want to laugh right now. I know you're here out of necessity. Maybe you know somebody. Maybe you're just such a good person, you feel bad that you don't want to leave us with nobody. But yeah, shout out to that dude, whoever he was. He was our audience for that night. But I didn't do that well. Nobody really did that well, except for Andre. Like, when he would go up in between, he would kind of riff on the comics before him or riff on whatever was left of the crowd. Always funny. Yeah, really funny dude. Who else did I say was on that show? Oh, Ashley Overton was also on that show. They had a double Ashley night. They had Ashley Sharma and Ashley Overton. Ashley Overton, I'm going to talk about that Ashley first. I'm going to talk about that Ashley. But I think I also saw her I think for the first time at Halcyon. And she was one of the first comedians I ever saw, like, after first going out and getting into the scene, that I saw really, like, kill a crowd. Like, in a good way. Like, I remember she had, at the time, had a joke about, she I think it was a motorboat joke. If you know, I don't want to give the joke away, but if you know her motorboating joke, then you'll know what joke I'm talking about. And there's a couple jokes surrounding it that I heard her do a couple times, which were really good too. But I saw her at, what was the name? I should have said the venue. It's by Halcyon. It's a movie theater. I think it's not Apollo. Fuck. What's the name of that theater over in Mueller? Everybody likes to go there. They like to... Alamo Drafthouse. Anyhow, yeah, so it was like the showroom at Alamo Drafthouse. Anyhow, one of the jokes, I think she opened by saying, like, hey, look at you all coming out during a pandemic. Aren't you guys brave? And I think it was the first day that the pandemic had been, like, announced. So I was like, damn, just dropping a topical joke. That's one thing. I don't claim to be any kind of, have any wisdom about comedy, but that was one thing I learned pretty early on, is like the comedians that went up and dropped a topical reference, or maybe jabbed at the person in front of them, or at something going on in the room. I mean, that helps so much. Like, just letting the crowd know that you're in the room with them makes such a big difference when you're on stage. Like, they're like, okay, cool, this person's up here, rather than just going up on stage and be like, man, my ex-girlfriend, man, let me tell you about her, this other thing happened. And it's like, okay, well, take it easy, guy. We want you to make a joke about the person who just spilled their coffee. But anyhow, her set went really well. When I saw her at Halcyon, I just like, and especially like the way she did it, like she crushed her set, got off, shook the hand of, I think Leon, who was hosting at the time, or that night, and then just kind of walked out, which, you know, a lot of comedians get upset about people being like, oh, they come do their set and then they go, but it's like, at the time it was on Thursday nights, and I know that Velveeta Room also, there's like a couple Thursday night open mics, Bomb City open mic, you know, which was recently started by myself and a couple friends, recently also halted because of the coronavirus, but like, to me, it's like, I don't know, if it's somebody who's kind of been in the scene for a while, if they come drop in and do a set and then burn out to go do another set, I don't care. I mean, yeah, that's why they're good, because they're doing multiple sets a night. For me, it doesn't matter to me, so I sit, I mean, if I get a set somewhere at an open mic, I'll sit there the whole night, you know, I'll eat nachos, I'll watch the rest of people's sets. That's why I have this knowledge about comedians, Austin comedians, and, you know, if I don't use it, then, you know, maybe I'll lose it, but, you know, I want to put it to good use, I guess. But yeah, so Ashley Overton's really funny. Ashley Sharma, I've seen her. She did well. I saw her, I think, for the first time at Cherrywood, I believe. She has a joke about, what was the one that I really like? She has a joke about being a nurse, which always does really well. But there's another one that she did too. Let me think about it. I remember one time she went up at Velveeta Room, and it was kind of like, she talked about how it was, she kind of riffed on the fact that her act was going to be kind of like, hey, I'm going to be the edgy comedian, and then kind of like, you know, dipped into some traditionally non-edgy stuff, and I think that was the joke. So that worked really well. Yeah, she has kind of an interesting, like, I don't know if wavy's the right word, but very like trancey type kind of vibe. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, she performed, and I hate to say this, but I think I might have bailed before Amber went up. But I've seen Amber in the past. She's funny. I think she has a special, or like a audio special, I don't know what you call it, on iTunes, I think. The thing about, I saw Amber a couple times. Her jokes about her daughter are really funny. But she also, the thing about Amber that's specific to me, and I want to talk about me, that's why you're listening to hear about moi. No, I'm just kidding. Somebody at work one time, I overheard them talking about going to see somebody doing comedy. Like, they went to go see a comedy show, and they were talking about Amber, and they were ranting and raving about how funny she was, and like jokes about the jokes that she has about her daughter. So I was like, it's funny. Like, it kind of bled into my personal life. So, you know, first off, how dare you infiltrate my personal life? Keep it in the comedy scene. But yeah, she's really funny. I think maybe I'll just kind of end it there with like that set of people. I'll see if people like this. Maybe they won't. Maybe this will feel like they're being attacked. Maybe people don't want me to talk about them. Who knows? But it's a good little trial run. And then I need to look up who that host was, because the host was so funny. And if I missed anybody else that was on that show, I'm really sorry. And you'll be the first person that I talk about the next time I do one of these. But anyhow, everybody stay safe, stay healthy, keep working on your jokes. Stand-up comedy will be back. And when it is, get up there and, you know, just fucking rip it, dude. Just get up there and try it, brother. All right.